first time I heard the Polish language, I was like, is this a language? That is to say that there's little to no case of robbery
Yeah, I
in
think so.
Poland.
Hi guys.
Welcome back again to the channel. Today we are going to be checking out a video from the channel Trev. The link will be in the
I
description
love that
box
name.
below. And this video is about 7 things that shocked me in Poland. And let's get right into today's reaction. I think one of the most amazing thing and fascinating thing of Poland for me is their patrioticness and the
Yeah,
cleanliness.
definitely. And their transportation system actually.
Yeah, the good government, man.
Dzień dobry, cześć and hello. Today, guys, I'm going to be sharing these 7 shocking things about Poland when I first went over to Poland. So these are kind of some of the things that really surprised me when I first went over to Poland, and I figured I might as well share this list with you because it's kind of special to me, and I'm sure some of you who are going to travel to Poland could also hear this list. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so number 1 on my list might sound obvious to a lot of people, but it's quality of food. Okay, so how do I say this? Most of the food there just seems to have this overall better quality of a taste. It seems like, for example, the vegetables were picked at the right time and grown properly. And it tastes like the meat has almost a better quality to it. So I think European countries have this higher standard to cooking and harvesting foods.
Wow.
And I really think that equates to overall a better meal. And also a bit of a side note, McDonald's in Poland is much better than in the States. I don't know how to really describe it because it's hard for me to tell you the taste, but it's just overall better. It really tastes more real. In the States, it just looks so plain and bland, and it also tastes that way too. But in Poland, it tastes much better. Like the burgers, the Big Macs, all of that. It's just, I don't know, it's just much better. But I have talked to a couple Polish people who also work at McDonald's, and they say the same thing that we have a problem with here, which is that no one cleans the ice cream machine. So I think like the ice cream machines just never get cleaned worldwide. I think that's just like a common thing now. But yeah,
Why
the
don't they
food
clean
is
it,
just
actually?
much better overall. Alright, number 2 on this list is hearing and seeing the language. Now, I'm completely not used to Slavic languages. Now, you can ask most Americans, they're used to more of the Romantic languages, mainly Spanish. And yeah, I mean, seeing and hearing Polish was almost mind-boggling to me. But I really enjoy the sound of Polish. I really like the Polish language a lot. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just me personally, but I really like to see and hear the language. I really think it sounds really cool. And I've told people this before, but it kind of sounds like this Italian/Portuguese mixed with a Slavic language. That's what it kind of sounds like to me. Uczyłam po polsku I kocham się po polsku. And a side note on this one, I think it's like the second most hardest language for
I just feel like, sorry, basically for me, I know the first time I heard the Polish language, I was like, is this a language? And I won't say the worst one, but the most intriguing part for me was seeing the writing of the Polish language.
Yeah.
I was lost. I was seeing a Z in the pronunciation. I was seeing X. Some of those alphabets we usually don't use in writing. And I was like, how do these people pronounce this? And how do their alphabets even sound? Their consonant, their voice, like, it's just going to be the whole lot. We have the plan of probably moving to Poland one day and, like relocating family and everything. But I think the one of the things that I'm still thinking about is the language differences. Because I don't personally, I do not have this language speaking ear, so it's going to be a hard one in that aspect.
We're gonna try our best.
Yeah, but we're gonna try.
English-speaking person to learn, I'm pretty sure. And the amount of consonant clusters to see in the language is
this
just
is what
crazy.
I was talking about.
It's really hard for English people to pronounce the words and really kind of get into the zone with the language. But it is possible, and there's tons of people who have learned Polish and can speak it fluently.
Oh, wow.
So just remember, it's always possible to still learn. I'm in the never-ending process of it myself. Alright, so number 3 on this list is that Poland is such a safe country, and this really shocked me. Like, you can go out at night and feel completely comfortable if you're a guy or a girl. I mean, you could just go out at night, and you are not going to get bothered by anyone. No one's going to pester you. The only thing with that, I would say, is that sometimes there are some random drunk people, and with that, if they're intoxicated on a substance, you don't know what they're going to do. I've had a few run-ins with some drunk people in Poland. For instance, here's a small story. I was in an ice cream store getting ice cream, and this drunk guy comes in, and he's basically like throwing slurs at people, going up to their tables and talking to them. And he didn't throw punches or anything like that, but he did get
Wow.
kicked out. But that's really the only crazy thing
Oh
I've seen in
wow.
Poland
Are you
is like a drunk
serious?
person going crazy. I've never seen them,
I'm just sorry, but even in the drunkenness, in the whole atmosphere of him being intoxicated, there was no really vigorous violence he was throwing, other than slurs and everything, just tantrum.
Yeah, well,
Because over here, when we talk about drunk people throwing tantrum, we're talking about them being
fights,
violently violent, fighting, throwing fists, trying to
grabbing
use,
ladies
yeah.
inappropriately. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy, actually.
Because even in that sense, even in his drunkenness, there's this sense of
Upright. I won't say
I would say
uprightness. I
uprightness,
would say more like,
discreetness,
yeah. So there are some certain things he does, and there are
and
some
there's something
certain
thing
things
he
he doesn't.
knows he can't
He
do.
can do. I think if you do those things, are there like penalties?
Obviously, I think that if,
Exactly.
but yeah, let's get it from the mouth. Is there like a penalty when he goes like
Beyond.
beyond words and all? But
hitting
that's crazy,
people
man.
or
It's
throwing things
impressive,
at
man.
all, but I mean, you just never know with drunk people in the first place. But besides that, Poland is such a safe country,
Everybody
and I've
says
never had
Poland
to
is
worry
safe. I want
about
to see it
anything
myself.
ever. And even at some of the bus stops and bus stations that look a little bit sketchy, I've never had an issue, ever. So don't be an American or Westerner and think that there's going to be some evil Polish guy named Janusz sitting at the corner or, at the bazaar, the markets, saying, jakiś problem, what's the problem, or something like that. It's just not going to happen there. So just don't worry. It's a safe country.
That is to say that there's little to no case of robbery
Yeah, I
in
think so.
Poland, or pickpockets, or people that
Or
snap, or
violence, actually.
violence in Poland. Please just help me. I'm really curious to know, because what?
We're definitely
Because
coming
over
to
here,
Poland.
when it comes to bus station that doesn't even look sketchy, you still find criminals there. Like people that want to rip you, they want to take your things, 419 and everything.
You see, touts.
Mm.
I don't even. That
Yeah,
one is a whole
are
subject on
there
its own.
touts in Poland?
That one is a whole subject on
I
its
want
own.
to know all of these
I
questions.
doubt because their system
Okay,
is
so this may
properly
sound weird to some people,
Structured.
but the
structured.
old towns in Poland, Stare Miasto, honestly, to me, seem like an amusement park. It looks like Disney World or
This
something
old
like
town.
that. It looks like this beautiful preservation of history, and it really feels like you're going back in time to the old town.
Wow,
And
old
most
town
cities have
indeed.
old towns.
Are these
Some
places
of
like?
them are kind of the
Can you
same
enter
as
them?
others, but
Are
some
they
of
like
them
Is it
public?
have these
accessible?
extremely unique features. In Gdańsk, you can see these incredible Gothic architectures of the buildings and the churches, and these long, narrow side streets with these just beautiful views and colors on the walls. I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful, and it's something you really have to see in any Polish town that you go to. Okay, so
Wow.
number 5 on this list is that Polish people are really wholesome and honest. Number 1, to me, they seem like they like Americans a lot, so you're not going to go
Just
there and
Americans? What
expect
about
them to
Africans?
honestly just dislike you because of the politics of your country or whatnot. Like, you're not going to have that problem. They're typically going to like Americans overall. So I wanted to say that, but there's also this thing with Polish people where you really know if they're happy or not. Like, Polish people don't put on this facade or, this fake mask like Americans tend to do where, it's like, oh, how are you doing? Oh, I'm doing great. Everything's joyful and stuff. It's not like that in Poland. People are just straight up and to the point. If they're having a bad day, they're going to tell you that. And if they're having a good day, they're going to tell you that. And if they're happy to meet you, they're going to show you that. So just bear that in
Wow.
mind. And a side note with this one
love
is
that
that Polish
straightforwardness.
people aren't like a southern town in the States. They're not going to, go up to you, oh, hey, how are you doing? Hold the door open and, they don't have that southern charm, but they do have the southern hospitality. And they're, like I said, they're not going to go up to you or like, say hi, how are you doing as you walk by them down the street like you can see in America. But they're still extremely nice people.
A lot of
once
people
they
say they
open
don't
up.
smile.
Alright, so number 6 on this list is the clean transportation, okay?
I know
I
that's
was
gonna make
actually
it there.
really shocked by this because I went into Warsaw and we go into like the tunnel in the metro, I guess it's called, and we were taking the train from like an area of Warsaw to another area of Warsaw, and it was so clean and quiet. It was insane. I was thinking, wow, like this must be brand new, and coming from like the New York City metro, I mean, that place looks like a dump compared to the metro in Poland. I mean, it's just absolutely clean. And also, people are just really courteous and respectful of each other.
Given the
And
years
I
it
don't
has
know,
been
it was
there,
awesome. It was a really cool
I'm so
experience.
sorry, but given the years the metro system has been there, because probably over here when something is built newly, you see a form of accountability to the
Cleanliness, yeah.
cleanliness for a while. But let's just get down to maybe 5 years, you start seeing the whole place not well
Showing its true
kept.
color.
Yeah, well kept and all. Because some private parks, some private transportation system here looks like a pretty dump.
Yeah.
Nobody is taking care of anything. And to see that all of this metro system, all of these transport train systems has been there for decades, but they are still maintaining one service,
Service,
cleaning
yeah.
services. Everybody keeps talking about the cleanliness of Poland. Cleanliness of Poland
Well, we're gonna get to experience it one of these
is
days.
commendable, man. I love it.
Okay, so leading on to the last point there with transportation is that the accessibility of public transportation in Poland is honestly something that really shocked me. Okay, so as most people are aware, the public transportation in the US really sucks. Now, some towns and some cities, it's actually okay and it's pretty good. But overall, and in general, it's pretty bad. Okay, so now the public transportation in Poland will take you anywhere. Like, you can go from any little small town typically to anywhere in Poland pretty easily by bus, by train, I mean, whatever you want. Like, there's so many different options, and it's really easy to, for example, if you're getting onto a city bus, you can change the language to English if you want, or even I think
Wow.
Russian as well.
I actually wanted to
I
ask
mean,
that
it's just
question
really
right now.
easy to access and kind of get
Wow.
through where you're going.
Wow.
And leading on with that, most people also speak a little bit of English, so if you're having trouble, you can always ask. But yeah, all the videos you watched before, we got to all of the towns we did through public transportation. We took buses, we took trains, and we got everywhere we ever wanted to. We never really had any issues at all. And it's also pretty affordable too. Now, not just with
Wow.
public transportation in Poland, but also if you wanted to fly from Poland to go to any other European country, it's super easy, it's super cheap, and there's also lots of airports. There's not just Warsaw, Chopin Airport, there's like so many different other airports. I know Katowice, Gdańsk, Krakow, Łódź, like so many other ones. Lublin even. So you really shouldn't have any trouble taking a cheap flight to really any other European country. Alright guys, that was the 7
I was
things
thinking
that
of
shocked
something,
me when
right?
I first went over to Poland. So if you feel like you have anything else you wanted to add to
Like,
this
comment,
list, just
subscribe
comment
down
down
below.
below. And as always, stay tuned for the next one.
Bye.
Dziękuję i do widzenia.
I like that ending.
So I was thinking, because when he was mentioning all of these things, we've had dozens of creators say good things about Poland, and I'm thinking, okay, how are the Polish government, the Polish people, um, how are they trying to, and how are they, how would I put it? What's the word? Sustaining what they have going on in Poland. So in that question over and over my mind, I was thinking, okay, what is the natural resources in Poland? What
Poland.
resources do they have to be able to keep up with all of these things? And even aside that, I know once you have a good governance, even if it's just wood the country has as a natural resources, is going to sustain them. Because talking
Yeah.
about good transport, good transportation, good
Those are
transport
money.
road, that's a whole lot of things. Because currently in Africa, obviously Nigeria precisely, we say we have oil, we have crude oil and the likes
Natural
of them.
resources
But when it
and the
comes
rest.
to transportation system, where fuel is, I mean, or gas is one of the major, properties of transportation over here, because we don't use electric cars, we use fuel powered cars. Our transport is very bad and is very overpriced. So I'm just asking, does Poland has petrol or crude oil as part of their natural resources to be
Resources.
able to give cheaper transportation to the
Civilians.
civilians? I don't know if that question came out correctly, but yeah, I was just
Okay,
thinking of
I
that.
think what she's trying to say is the natural resources that Polish or Poland depend on to actually make all these necessities possible for its citizens.
Yeah.
Unlike over here where we have a lot of natural resources, but yet we still buy or purchase them at the
Higher
higher
cost, and we still
cost.
suffer to get them.
Exactly. So please do let us know that in the comment section. We're going to see you guys on our next one. For now, remember, let's not what?